I didn't show you the stats from the chat stats from the last live stream, which was a whole week ago, last Friday. Net Reamer, When Angels Kiss is a song I always associate with a relationship from the time of that song. Oh shit, you said the word stereo. Is this gonna go to the Cars? I saw the Cars. Did we see them at the Summit ever? Saw them at a smaller venue. You know what? The first time I saw the Cars, I saw them a couple times. It was a smaller venue and we were near the backstage door. And when they arrived, this was when, like early, like after the first album, maybe around the time of Candio, the second album, maybe. Or somewhere like early. And when they arrived, they got out of these cars and they just looked like such rock stars. They were wearing like silky clothes and they just looked like rock stars, totally like that. And it was like, wow, look at that. And I just remember we were all struck with what they were wearing. And when they came out on stage a little while later, those were their actual clothes. They had changed into like work shirts. They were wearing like plain jeans or pants and like work shirts, like dress, like it was like, what? It's like they were like this, they were so glamorous looking, and I thought for sure those were their stage clothes. Wasn't. Oh. Kimberly. Some friend sent me a nice bottle of scotch the other day, Mark. Restless Heart. You've got a restless heart. Restless. Yeah, that's a great song from the No Breaks album. Bye, bye, bye. Albert. What is that? Bye, bye, love. Oh, so the Cars. What else? We were big Cars fans. Saw them a couple times. That first album came out. It was so weird. And we loved it. It has so many. Wow, that's a really bold debut album. Yeah. Sean would have loved to see the Cars. Yeah, it was a great show. I don't remember if there was an opener. One show. So one time I saw them indoors at a great venue. I saw them at an outdoor venue in Austin. I can't tell this story. I missed a lot of the show. I was there, but I didn't pay as much attention to that show. What? What? I was just talking about how well everything was going. Oh, you're right. Where is it? You're back? Am I still streaming? Fill me in. You got kicked? Are you serious? So that's interesting. It cut off and continued. And it happened when I lifted up my laptop. But nothing that's going into it. Well, the camera's going into it. Paul Olsen just bought the 2011 release Move Like This. It's really good. What is that? I'm sorry, Paul. Do I know what that is? Move Like This? Oops. Oh, it's the Cars? It's the 7th and final studio album by the Cars. Oh, I didn't make it that far. I love all those early ones, and then I think I missed a couple. If there are 7, I only know the Cars and Candio and Panorama and something else and Heartbeat City. Isn't there another one in there? Moving in stereo, yeah, that whole first. Having issues with the streaming as well. Yeah, so you're saying I'm back though? We're actually on. Let me take a look at what does this look like to me. Let me reboot. So, but your video is not clear now. I'm fuzzy? Oh, somewhere in there we dropped 439 frames. All of a sudden I was like, what could I do to appear less fuzzy? What can I possibly do? Are we in sync? Hang on. It looks like it's basically in sync, right? It cut us off as we were making fun of Journey. I think Journey is behind the coronavirus. Obviously. Okay, so Shake It Up. Yeah, thank you. That's all. That's as far as I got. And Panorama, at first I was like, this album is weird, but oh my God, it's really good. But The Cars, Candio, Panorama, and what'd you say the other one was? Shake It Up and Heartbeat City. Heartbeat City, it's starting to, the sound is very different. And they had those MTV videos, those big hits. But I like stuff on all of those. And oh my God, Benjamin Orr's voice. All mixed up. It's all mixed up. It's all mixed up. So it's interesting that the stream stopped and restarted. I didn't really get an indication. Maybe if I'd been paying attention, there's this place where there's a little green light. It's a square and it's green, and every once in a while it turns yellow or red. My computer's hot. That's the reason I touched it and moved it. Hey, Albert and Netreamer, and anyone else who's geeky, someone recommended that I get there are these cooling pads for laptops. Is that something worth looking into? Because the other thing I can do is just move it around this little desktop, but boy, tell me I didn't just kick you off again just by moving it. I'm not sure. There are several things plugged in, but most of them aren't that important. The speakers, an external hard drive that is being written to as it records the local file. Two Thunderbolt things. One is just the network cable. Ah, crap. I have the Wi-Fi on. It says I'm connected to Wi-Fi, but hopefully it's using the network cable, right? I'm going to turn the Wi-Fi off. It's using the network cable, right? Even if it says it's connected to the Wi-Fi, it's not really using the Wi-Fi, is it? That would be... Don't make me turn it off. Everybody drink. So we got booted. It was great until you. It cut us off as we were making fun of Journey. Yeah, that debut album. Certain debut albums like Van Halen's was pretty bold just in terms of wow, who's that guy? Queen's is pretty... They Might Be Giants' first album is wow, it doesn't sound like anybody else. A lot of people hate Boston, but boy, I thought we liked Boston's album when it came out. All's Good Now. One of the few bands that had the ability to make so different tune with different lead vocals. So you say it's not in sync. The Cars. Kevin said, how many people knew of Ben Orr's contributions to the Cars? I didn't realize how many songs he sang until much later. Yeah, it's interesting. Rick Ocasek pretty much wrote everything, at least those in all those early albums. Greg Hawkes, the keyboard player, co-wrote a couple things. Like, I think he's listed as a co-writer on Moving in Stereo and some other songs. I had a solo album of Greg Hawkes, and it was mostly these little synthesizer instrumentals, but there were some songs with lyrics. I tried to find this one digitally. I don't know what the album was called, but there was a song on there called Jet Lag, and it had this echo, so it would go, jet lag, lag, lag. It's a real drag, and that was like a vocoder. It's a real drag. Jet lag, lag, lag. It's a real drag. It was a good song. But yeah, Benjamin Orr, once you know, because their voices, sometimes you could just not realize there's two singers, but once you know, Benjamin Orr's voice is by far the more interesting one. Like, I wonder if Rick Ocasek was even mimicking him. He has a weird, quirky voice, but Benjamin Orr's voice, oh man. When you hear the best vocals, it's Benjamin Orr. Yeah, we're doing the Cars thing, it turns out. Heartbeat City, oh yeah. So that's the thing. Those first four were produced by Roy Thomas Baker, who produced a few Journey albums, about 6 or 8 Queen albums, a band called Starcastle. Gary, are you still out there? Did we ever talk about Starcastle? They're a progressive band that Roy Thomas Baker produced a couple of their albums that I had on vinyl. And then, yes, Robert Mutt Lang was the producer. Shania Twain's husband produced Heartbeat City. And it's a very different sound from those other albums. Everything, the drums, it's just a different sound. Ben Orr, yes. Brian, you just learned about Benjamin Orr? He was so cool. And it's his voice on like Bye Bye Love, Moving in Stereo, all mixed up. He could do this deep voice that kind of sounded like where you could hear the similarity with Rick Ocasek, but he also had this, he's like, it's an orange. He sings Drive, Who's Gonna Drive You Home, and but the deepest ones and also the more rock ones like Substitution, Mass Confusion, Clouds Inside Your Head. Like, he had more range and his voice is really interesting. Denise, I know you recommended Leonard Cooley, man. You got credit. Yeah, by far. Well, the fan is on. Is that a sign that it's running hot? Albert, I read your comment and I assume I'm having a conversation with you. You said I don't need a cooling pad unless it's running hot, but I think it's running hot because it was a little hot and then it shut down. No, it didn't, but it was no cooling pad, but the fan is running. Like, maybe I could get the fan not to run. Rick was the face of the band, and he wrote the songs. Sean liked Boston. The fan turns on. Nothing's wrong with that. Okay. If you go back and look at all the videos, yeah. Rick Ocasek sang Let the Good Times Roll, and Benjamin Orr says, I don't mind you coming here and wasting all my time. But My Best Friend's Girl, that's Rick Ocasek. How's that go? You're always dancing down the street with your suede blue eyes. Rick Ocasek sings some of the, and then those later, the Mutt Lang ones, like, what was that? Uh-oh, it's magic. Whatever that one is. That's not much like the Cars anymore. Yeah, you didn't think Rick Ocasek was hot, Brian? You know what? Albert and I, our old best friend Chuck, also thought Benjamin Orr was very hot. Well, I even think Benjamin Orr was hot, and I'm straight. I know most people don't know who he is. Because most people, they just know the hits and everything. Queen and the Cars were your two favorite bands, yeah. And Albert, the Cars were probably Chuck's biggest influence. The song Drive. Ben had the cleaner voice. But Rick Strainmore, but Ben, there was something, he had this strained, he would do this strained voice that was beautiful, that was all, like in All Mixed Up, like, it's all mixed up. Like when he strained, his voice just had a super cool quality, whether it was that deep thing he would do or that high, more strained, bye love, when he'd go higher. He had a certain kind of strained voice that was just so much more interesting. Mark Kaplan says, Tom Scholes of Boston is a genius, MIT grad. Kind of surprising, Kevin says, that Ben Orr didn't have a big solo career. You know, he did have at least one solo album, and he had one song that got radio play. It's called, I think it's called Because the Night. No, Something the Night. Something the Night, Benjamin Orr. Stay the Night. Yeah. There was a video, there was an MTV video. Stay the Night. But the thing is, it was those songs. Like that, his solo album wasn't nearly as interesting as the Cars' music. I don't remember if he wrote the stuff on his solo album. But maybe like Mary, he didn't want the spotlight. I don't know. He did have a solo album, but he didn't play the front man that well. And there were a couple nice songs on it, but it was nothing like the Cars. And yeah. And then Rick Ocasek also had a solo album or two. I had his first one. I forget what it was called. And it was a little more like the Cars, a little weirder in a way. Brian says if you go back and look at Live Aid, careful here, Brian, you say everyone was terrible and the Cars were fucking amazing and it's Ben Orr. I don't even remember the Cars at Live Aid, but a little band called Queen didn't suck at Live Aid, Brian. Before I boot you off this stream, Queen didn't suck there, but the Cars at Live Aid, I'll have to check that out. Elliot Easton, good guitarist. Good guitarist. Oh, The Lace, yeah. Not hot, but great, Elliot Easton. Albert met him. Yeah, he was great. Ben wrote a fair amount of songs. Benjamin Orr didn't write Bye Bye Love. Hold on a second, Kevin. Just hold on 1 second. Let's look up the Cars for a second, because I think you have to be totally mistaken about that. Discography, the Cars. Huh. Oh no, that's the vocals. If you're looking at Wikipedia, where it usually says who wrote it, that says the vocals, but the writers... Why is this all messed up? I think it's all tracks are written by Rick Ocasek except where noted. And where it's noted... Sorry, this is important. Where do they note it? Oh yeah, just Moving in Stereo. All the songs on that first album were written by Rick Ocasek, except Moving in Stereo, Greg Hawkes is co-credited. But if you were looking at Wikipedia, it looks like they're listing the vocalist, not the singer, not the writer. Thank you, Brian. Of course, Queen. You guys should watch on YouTube. Oh, I saw, Rick. Paul Olsen saw Rick in person a couple times on the streets of New York. He had a peculiar look and presence. That part doesn't surprise me at all, because he on camera had a peculiar look and presence. Yeah. Sorry, Kevin. I almost know the Cars like I know Queen. Not quite, but those first few albums, it's almost all Rick Ocasek compositions. And then like sometimes Greg Hawkes, keyboard. Freddie owned Live Aid. So I'm going to have to see that Cars set, but they were pretty good live the couple times I saw them. So, all right. Any silver linings? You guys that are that haven't tuned in before, under this dark cloud of the virus, there have been little silver linings. Like, I told you my whole barter story with my neighbors. I gotta tell you about the snakes too. But Paul and Brian, you've been chatting a lot. Do you have Benor? Super cool, and yeah, and objectively sexier than Rick Ocasek. Although there's at least one supermodel who must have thought Rick was pretty damn sexy. Or, you know, and he certainly was an interesting writer. I wrote lyrics to my friend Chuck's music, and I liked Rick Ocasek's lyrics were so odd and quirky and fresh. Yeah, Kevin, Rick did get the swimsuit model. I spilled a little wine on my face. Did you notice I dressed up for you? This isn't, I don't know about you, but this isn't how I dress during these quarantine times. I dressed up for you. I put on a collared shirt. Collard greens. I put on collard greens because I live in the South. I'm impressed with how long these rechargeable batteries are lasting. I have a AA battery in a microphone here, and that's what I was like, I'm surprised it hasn't turned red yet. Live Aid cards. Yes, I will do that. I'll probably wait till after this, but you know. Thank you for streaming this live. Really? This? You're thanking me for this? Okay, so I'm using a service called Restream so that I send out one stream and it sends it to my 2 Facebook pages and my YouTube page and Twitter / Periscope. But one of the things they do is this, there's a chat. I see all this aggregated chat. So if somebody from Periscope or Facebook or YouTube chats, I get to see it in this one place. If you're all over there on YouTube, you're just seeing those YouTube ones, but I potentially see all of them. And then I've gathered these stats. Now this was not last Friday, but the stream before, maybe the Thursday or something. And then, shoot. Oh, there it goes. So the last time I streamed 1 week ago, these were the top chatters. This was Friday, April 10th. And NetReamer, if you're out there, look, for the first time, I added the date. And I did it last Friday, and then I haven't streamed since then. So Restream shows me who the top chatters, it only shows 8 of them. But last Friday, Sebastian was watching for the first time. Kevin, it wasn't your first time, but it was... Oh, no, it couldn't have been your first time. Never mind. But Denise with 47 and Albert, Mark, Sebastian, New Kid, NetReamer, Kevin, Susan, and the Sciencey Optimist who hasn't shown up today. But that was our top chatters last Friday. And who knows what's happening this time. I really do like something to grab for. What's that? Denise, thanks. What is something to grab for? Oh, it's a Rick Ocasek solo song. What was his first solo album? Not This Side of Paradise. What is it? Rick Ocasek. Discography. Are we even pronouncing his Beatitude? Beatitude. I don't remember it that well. I didn't get into it as much. Oh, Something to Grab For is from that album. Okay. Yeah, like, I don't recognize these songs, really. But yeah, what a quirky character. You know, I met, last summer, I met Rick Wakeman. Oh, Gary Hobish, are you still out there? Gary, I met... Uh-oh, Ellen is here? What? Ellen? You're not wearing an old t-shirt. Yeah. My sister comes in and the first thing she does is comment on my clothes. Yeah, isn't it kind of surprising? Hello, Ellen. Everyone say hi to Ellen. Albert. Albert is here. Kevin Kataoka is here. Mark Kaplan is here. Lawyer up, everybody. Who is that scroll up above on the right in the frame? What was that? I missed that. Yeah, so I can stream to multiple platforms. But I'm trying to get people to come to my YouTube channel because I want to build up my views and my watched hours on YouTube. Watch wherever you want. Kevin says, I'm enjoying Canopy, which is a free streaming channel available with a library card membership. What's a library? Lots of Criterion movies, indie films, docs, etc. 10 free views per month. Is that your silver lining, Canopy? What was the, I'm drawing a blank. Thanks for not wearing Swiss chard. It's a great song, something to grab for. I know it sounds familiar, and I kind of remember Jimmy Jimmy. I think I can hear the chorus of Jimmy Jimmy in my head. But yeah, Ellen, I told an old story about. Because somebody knew that I had seen Queen and had my program autographed, but she really wanted to hear the story and she'd been asking for it. So I prepared some visuals and I told the whole story vividly. You know what I wish I had a picture of, Ellen? Is Ellen can vouch for this. There was a time in our back of our house where the driveway was, where some concrete, a little piece of concrete was repoured. And I wrote Queen is Life in the concrete. And that was there at our house for a long time. Not only, Albert, not only is that gone, my entire house is gone. I don't know if you've swung by, but I had Lori Bucksbaum sent me a couple pictures. David Yaffe sent me a picture that Todd Weiss took. But first it was gutted and remodeled, and then some years went by and our childhood house was removed completely from existence and replaced with some big old house. And instead of those 2 palm trees in Houston that we had in front of our house, the only 2 palm trees in Houston, they're gone, but there's other trees in the yard, and it's just really weird. There's this gigantic house where my childhood used to be. On the wall behind me, behind my left shoulder. Oh, wait. Were you asking? Oh, who is that scroll up above in the right in the frame? So what that is, that's my, So I know Neil deGrasse Tyson, and I was in New York, and I visited him in his office, and we did a live stream. It's on my Facebook, my Science Comedian Brian Mallow Facebook page. You can see it prominently, but I should post that to YouTube sometime. But we did a live stream, and in the middle of it, it was in the afternoon on a weekday, like a Monday. And in the middle, he goes, why are people watching? Like, shouldn't these people be at work or school or something? And what he did was he drew them a hall pass to give them permission to attend my live stream. So it says Brian Mallow live interview, hall pass, 23 October 2018. He got the date wrong by one day, and then it says Neil deGrasse Tyson. Kind of. Neil D. Tyson. That's what that is. I didn't know what you meant by that, because I don't really see it, but that. And you're right that it's over my left. You're right that it's over my left shoulder. Sean, switching over to YouTube. Switching over to YouTube now. Switching over to YouTube. Now seems like a good time to go. Sticks. Let's get this show on the road. Okay, just a little touch of it. Superfans libraries are where they kept books. I've heard of these books. Those are fake. Is the Journey guy still here? Gary, I think Gary's not here because he didn't respond when I brought up Star Castle. 2-story I sent you on is the, Mark, you sent me one too, yeah. Don't ask me what those are. Palm trees. Brian M. Yes. No historic marker. Ellen Mallow childhood home. Exactly. The Mediator. Maybe it's time for a Bordeaux cookie. Ned Reamer, the title of Brian's memoir, There's a Gigantic House Where My Childhood Used to Be. That's not a bad title. That's the story of my life. My memoir, as you say. There's a gigantic house where my childhood used to be. And my childhood, to be clear, was not a gigantic house. I mean, compared to some people's, it was, but. You're not supposed to eat in the studio. Oh, crap. I know why. No milk. There's a gigantic house where my childhood used to be. How does wine go with Bordeaux cookies? Bordeaux, French cookies. Isn't all wine French? Louis Pasteur. There's a connection there. If you don't know, I can explain. Not a good combo. Gotta savor the cookies. Go to that later. So, I did have one other image I kind of wanted to show you. All that Queen stuff. You know, I like to take photos. I have a DSLR. And once I took this photo, if I had done this right, I should have shown you just this. Hang on. I think I can do this. Okay. If you'll allow me, I will do this the way I should have done it in the first place. I'm going to set something up real quick. Somehow, you gotta hold something. Hold on. F, escape, control, option, command. What was it? Alt? Function? No? No? Oops! How do you undo what I just did? Uh-oh! Hang on. Why did I have to try to get fancy with it? Why didn't I just do what I was going to do in the first place? This will only take a second if I'm smart. Oh, shoot. Okay. So, one time in my yard, in fact, right outside, right over here, I saw this picture and I took the photo because I thought it was cool, but it was more than that. When I saw this, this is what I saw. Oh, I forgot. I saw that. And I'm sure I could have found another Freddy pic that fitted even better. And if I was really prepared, then I could show you that when I posted this to Instagram, Brian May follows me on Instagram, which is a whole other story. And Brian and whoever else doesn't may not know this, but Brian May follows me on Instagram and sometimes comments or likes some of my things. And he made a great comment on this photo. He said something like, "What a vision," or something. Exclamation points. But pretty cool, huh? Brian saw Neil deGrasse Tyson on The Late Show, and I want that guy to get in shape and live beyond 100 years. Ellen and Albert, I see what you're saying. That cookie should be paired with milk. That's true. Look, I'm going elaborate. Nobody here will be able to roll their eyes. I have a travel softball team when that was a thing, and we've been to Tampa a couple times, and I can't shut up about the variety of palm trees in Florida, huh? Stick to comedy and music? Wait, Albert. That's a snide remark, but what's that about? It's not about my photography and Photoshop skills. Brian May pre-COVID-19, no gray hair yet. Yeah. You're my video lab rats. Oh, Denise, did you see that? When I saw that, it was very, I was anthropomorphizing from the beginning. To me, it just looked like a little guy. And I don't know if I immediately thought Freddie, but I saw something, and it didn't take long before I connected it to Freddie Mercury. And then look, like the little hand thing at the end. I think that there's an even more perfect Freddie Mercury match, but that's not bad. The angle's not exact, but it's pretty interesting. Yep. Fun. Separated at birth, exactly, NetReamer. So that probably, let me take a look here. Yeah, that's all I really prepared. Ellen, you weren't watching before, but I showed this before, but you've already seen this. You lived it. Do you remember that guy, Ellen? Do you remember him? All right, that's all. No screenshots, people. So, pretty good. 15. Oh. My wine pairing. Oh. Okay, yes. Oh, yeah, I'm no wino. Or whiny or wino, whatever you call yourselves. Bordeaux? You didn't appreciate my flawless logic? Bordeaux cookies? Wine? Duh. Woo. Did you hear it slosh around? Did you hear that? Kevin, gonna step away. Good night, everyone. Good night, Kevin. Thanks for stopping by. Be safe out there. Stay inside. Brian, I have not silver palm. I've been to Tampa, but I don't remember anything about silver palm trees. Should I? What other flowers have I seen look like? Well, I'm glad you asked, David Spark, because I'm now going to show you my entire collection of flower photos that resemble various rock magicians. Oh, yeah, Ellen, I think you know I didn't get all the chicks. David Spark. Ellen in Atlanta's my sister. Ellen, you probably met my friend David at my wedding. David. What's in the cup, Brian? It's red wine. I know that it doesn't look like a wine glass, but I like this mug. You don't know, you have no idea what's in it. It was a gift. I saw a sack of flour look like Dom DeLuise. I saw Dom DeLuise look like a sack of flour. So I think we're even. So, I saw a potato that looked like Abe Vigoda. Don't all potatoes look like Abe Vigoda? Is Abe Vigoda still alive? He's one of those guys that forever people would go, oh, he's dead, right? No, he's still alive. But by now, Abe Vigoda can't still be alive, can he? Oh, David, do you think that's a coincidence? As soon as you signed on, Kataoka left? You think that's a coincidence? You showed up and you made David leave. You made David leave. You made Kevin leave. I saw... I got nothing. We probably should wrap up and do some other stuff tonight. It's midnight here, 12, 11, 10, 9 on the West Coast. If you can handle one mallow, that's... I don't like the way you handle me, David. I don't like to be handled by you. Spark. Silver palm tree? Really? Everybody look, oh, really? Everybody look up silver palm trees. I'm sure there's an easy way. I wonder what this is like. Add, window capture. Okay. Window. It's not showing me the windows that I want to... What's this? I can show my desktop. I can't seem to pull up menu bar. Nope. I thought maybe I could pull this up, but... Oh, wow. Things I can pull up. Are this? I can give you an infinity mirror effect, but we better get rid of that. Oh, and what is this? I don't even know which one that is. Let's remove that, because I don't need that in the way. So, oops. I knew nothing about silver palm trees. Abe is dead. Oops, he's alive. Well, Ellen, where did you get, was that just your own opinion? Abe is dead. You didn't look it up and find false. Talk to me, Brian. Have you been to wine authorities and perused their Enomatic back in the... No, I'm no wine... No, I wouldn't, if it has to do with wine, I haven't pursued it at all. You can bet on it. They're ridiculously regal. Abe is dead. He's alive, 94. Tom Lehrer, just turned 92. Pretty amazing. I wonder if him and Abe know each other. Yeah, that is, I deleted that already, but I don't know exactly why that was. It was choosing as a window that you could show, I guess, this, and then it became recursive, is the word. I thought Abe passed in 2016. Ellen, you flip-flopped twice on that. He's dead. Oh, no, he's alive. He's 94. Oh, he's dead. Oh, he was in The Godfather. Yeah. Yeah, Ellen, you are not the authority on Abe Vigoda. That's become clear. I don't know what you're the authority on, but it ain't Abe Vigoda, that's for sure. And it's not looking up people's obituaries. And Ellen, I'm drinking red wine and eating string cheese and cookies. So we've been here a long time. This is NetReamer, is that a joke or are you serious? If you leave the infinity mirror up for too long, the CPU will overheat and the fan won't be enough. It does feel warm. I do feel like at least scooting it over, moving it a little. So at least it's on a cooler part of the desk that it's on. You know, I'm going to have to incorporate some other camera angles. I kind of screwed up. I bought a network adapter that goes into Thunderport. That was kind of a waste. I should have gotten a USB one. Here's one tech thing that happened today. You know, my laptop has 2 USB ports. So I bought a USB hub, and so this little switcher that I have, this Stream Deck, I tried and it did not work through the hub. It has to be connected directly. So that has to be connected, and I have a hard drive connected to the other one. The hard drive might work through the hub. I'm gonna have to try that. If not, then he did die in 2016. Who even, like, Denise, you just offhand knew that Abe Vigoda died in 2016? Abe was in superposition until we looked it up. He was both alive and dead, just like through most of his career. Nobody had looked it up before. Brian, it's not a snob thing. They have stores in Raleigh and Durham, and they have curated daily, weekly, monthly wines. Those are by price, and it's just one of those great things about living here. Okay. Yeah, Wine Authority. Is Wine Authority, is that what you said? Is there one right here in, oh, I guess I am brain dead. Where Bad Daddy's is, and Ace Hardware, and oh, you can sample the wines and not get drunk? What's the point of that? Yeah, NetReamer, I had a feeling you were joking. You need a powered hub. You know, I thought I got a decent hub. It wasn't powered, but I thought I chose carefully, but I did not. I got it from Monoprice. I used a USB, I used a thumb drive through it, or a card reader is what I really meant to say. All right. Denise is in Colorado. But you guys, I think that I've worn out my welcome, and you guys have so much going on in the comments that you hardly need me to be here. Although I think if the stream goes away, you won't be able to comment anymore. I mean, I could just leave and leave this running, and there'd be the books and Neil Tyson and that guy. Durham. Okay, there's not one right here. I enjoyed Abe Vigoda's character. I was sad to see him go. Just like Orson Bean. They're all tragic. Brian Dennehy just died. He was an actor too. Person Street. Yes. What's the name of this little... I'm drawing such a blank on... It's Person Street. It's in Seaboard Station. Is it Seaboard Station? Seaboard? Is it around thereabouts? Around thereabouts. If your USB devices draw much power through the bus, you need a powered hub. And I guess this does, because the way it lights up, it draws a little power, at least, and it didn't come on properly when I attached it to the hub that I just bought. I almost bought a powered hub, but for some reason, I thought what I read about this one led me to believe that it was going to work. And it was nice and sleek. See that? 4-port hub. Oh! It has an optional power adapter. Maybe that is why I bought it. Maybe I need the power adapter for this. So maybe that's okay. Maybe I didn't mess up. Maybe I got the right hub, but I need the optional adapter. So I guess I'll try that. All right, I'm glad we solved this problem. You were going to bring your gay softball... What's a gay softball team, right? How is a softball team gay? I'm kidding. But I'm kind of serious. How gay are you? As gay... Are you as gay a softball team as Adam Lambert is on stage? Because he's pretty gay on stage. He actually says something sometimes. Like, you know, he says he's, of course, not Freddie Mercury. But he does say something at one point, because some of his costume changes are more elaborate and maybe gayer. I mean, but Freddie wore leotard and ballet slippers and sometimes these cute little shorts. So, Brian, did you think Freddie Mercury was hot? And, you know, before you answer that, Terrence McNally just died. Yeah, Yellow Dog Bakery and Person Street Bar. I know these places. I don't hang out at them much, but they're very, very close. They're walking distance to me. But Ellen, I had what I had you buy was not only a hub, but it had a network port. Oh, I'm a fool. I should have bought what I had you buy. Because in the end, I may want to switch my network cable to like that. I had Ellen buy a USB hub with a network port. Oh, but Ellen, yours was totally different because also on the other end, yours is USB-C. So yours we had to buy, so mine would be no good for you, Ellen. Look, this wouldn't have worked for you. Do you know why? Because this isn't USB-C. So you and I had to get different things. I got you the best thing that I could find for you for your needs. There are gay softball leagues, tournaments, and there's a World Series. Yeah, it just sounds funny, you know what I mean? Like, I don't usually ask the sexual orientation of baseball or softball teams. So the San Francisco 49ers, they're gay, right? They're gay from coronavirus. Paul Olsen, I don't know if that's what, but I like putting those together. That's right. There are gay softball leagues. What makes them gay? They only play against other male teams. They only go to bat against other male teams. Well, you should see I'll bet they have the best uniforms in the league. Oh, the whole league is gay. It's got to have the best costumes. It's costumes. That's right. They're not uniforms. They're costumes. This is a show. I would say we went off the rails somewhere, but were we ever on the rails? I don't even know if there are rails. Hey, by the way, does anyone here have Hulu? And has anyone watched this show called Devs? From the guy that made the movie, that robot movie. What was it called? Isn't that who it is? What's his... Come on. Novels, film. Oh, I'm thinking of the... Ex Machina. Yeah. He wrote the screenplay for 28 Days. Alex Garland wrote and directed and created this series called Devs, D-E-V-S, like development, Devs. So he wrote 28 Days Later, and he wrote a film adaptation for Halo, for which he was paid $1 million. He wrote the screenplay for the film Sunshine. He wrote the script for Dread. He wrote the screenplay for Never Let Me Go. And then his directorial debut was Ex Machina, based on his own story and screenplay. Oh, and then he made Annihilation. That's based on a sci-fi novel by a sci-fi writer named Jeff Vandermeer. Wow, so he made Ex Machina, then he made Annihilation, and now he made this series called Devs. And I watched the first episode the other night, and I liked it. I'm going to watch a little more. There's only 7 episodes. The first one was about an hour, but they start to scale down to more like 45 minutes. It's Devs, D-E-V, as in victorious. And about the gay softball, here's more on the gay softball leagues. You gonna come out and cheer the Raleigh Woofs next year? There will be no more gathering in groups. There's no outdoors. Outdoors? I'll stream it and I'll make comments, Brian. I don't know, are you trying to get me killed? Huh, now your true colors come shining through. I missed, there was one of these, you come on a chair. There are gay softball leagues tournaments. Let me say that there are different strata of gay guys, and he would be on a different, very leathery, very sex-centric plane than I live on or lived on. But see, you see Freddie Mercury as leathery and very 1980s. I see Freddie Mercury in the 70s in a leotard and ballet slippers, and there's no mustache. But look up 1970s Freddie. He had long hair, and he was a really different looking guy. And I think, I don't know your type, but I think he was like, I like 70s Freddie. If I was you, I would like 70s Freddie. He lived in a different time, but I'm old enough to know what that was like. Had a lot to do with AIDS. Yeah, but before that, before AIDS, in the 70s. The way they throw, Paul Olsen said, yeah. It's a fabulous fun party. Also with gay leagues, there are quotas. Westworld, when they steal second, they sing, ta-da! Yeah. The English Game was super good. Michael Crichton? What's Michael Crichton? No, I like Crichton, but this is this guy Alex Garland that I was talking about. Ex Machina, thanks. $1 million exactly. Albert, what did Albert say? The South African guy? The South African guy, that's Elon Musk. Yeah, Alex Garland is an English writer and filmmaker. He rose to prominence as a novelist with his in the late 1990s with a book called The Beach. Some people called him a key voice of Generation X. Jesus, he was born in 1970. Wow, he really has written some great screenplays, and I liked Ex Machina, and Annihilation was pretty good. I'm curious about, I wonder what the book is like. But Devs, I watched the first episode, and I liked it. It was pretty interesting. It's a Silicon Valley company, and some weird shit's going on. It explores themes related to free will and determinism, as well as Silicon Valley culture. Yeah, I'm only one episode in. Oh yeah, and Nick Offerman is the CEO, the big genius of this startup company. Pretty good. I'm going to watch more. Maybe I'll watch one right now. While you do whatever y'all are doing, maybe I'll watch a new episode of this. 70s Freddy, 80s Freddy, same guy. Kind of. He really reinvented himself, and he's really pretty different, and he looked different. I'm trying to keep this R-rated. You're trying to keep it like up to R and maybe push it to X. I'm trying to keep it G, PG. The wine's almost gone. We're halfway through our cheese sticks. We already ate a Bordeaux cookie. Early Freddy trying to find his fashion, Denise. Yeah. Yeah. His fashion really changed. Like, it's funny how Brian May's been kind of a constant. Like, he didn't change much. His hair turned gray, but the style always remained the same. Freddy went through so many styles. Well, you guys, this has been fun. Let's call it a night. It's already almost 12:30 here. I'm a little tired. I finished editing a video today. It's been a pretty productive week because I edited and they were published 3 short videos. And as of today, I'm finished with this hour-long interview with the same virologist. And I don't know if it'll be public by Monday, but soon. And but I actually cut out 25 minutes from it just to bring it down to a little more than an hour. And I had to do some editing because I didn't want it to just look plain. So it took me a long time. He worshipped at the temple of the eggplant and the peach. Yes. And he worshipped a little too hard and too often. And, he didn't deserve that, though. Nobody does. So sad. I think that signals the end of play. What else could we go by if not we've run out of wine? There's more wine in the kitchen. There's none in my cup, though. So, thanks for tuning in. Brian, thanks for tuning in with your eggplant and peach references. Denise and Albert and Susan must be out there somewhere. Oh, you cried at Bohemian Rhapsody? I've still only seen it the one time. I went ahead and bought it, and I know it has outtakes on it, and I've done it. I saw a little bit more on an airplane. But I'll have to see it after getting over my first conceptions of it. Good night. Thanks, Paul. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good night. Stay safe. At the very end of our hour-long, we're pretty serious through the whole interview, and then at the end, I'm like, well, I think you barely have time to get to your class. She was about to teach a virtual class. And we had a little laughter, and then the last thing was like, take care, be safe. And then she's like, and wash those hands. And that's what I chose to end the file on, exactly like with her saying, and wash those hands. And then it fades to the end titles. See you next time. Thanks, Brian. That just totally threw me. I saw Brian, like, how come the whole time? There's too many Brian M's, because there's also Brian May. You know what? You know what's weird, Kimberly? It was 1.7K, okay? And then it dropped to 1.6, and that doesn't even make sense to me, because it would mean that sometime about a year ago, there must have been a little part where but there's no way there was a period a year ago that I got any significant views. But I don't know, we're not there. My new videos none of them have gotten thousands of views. These new short videos have gotten a few hundred views. And what I need is more. So good night. So long, farewell. So long, farewell. But anyway, Kimberly, we'll talk about it. I was going to say Denise and good night, so I said tonight. So that's a good sign. You guys are awesome. Thanks for tuning in. Give the little video a like, and if you want, maybe we'll do it again tomorrow night, but I better come up with some new shit to talk about, right? I think so. So take care, and I'll see you again soon, okay? Okay. Bye now.